Today, on How We Know What We Know, we will be looking at past or ancient environments. In particular, how we are able to reconstruct these ancient environments. So why should we be concerned about past environments? Simply put, it's to provide a greater context and help us develop a greater understanding about the world a past civilization developed and thrived in. Sure, we can infer some about the past environment based on where a site is located geographically today, but we are still missing key bits of information which will allow us to tell a better story. So how do we do this? There are a few different methods, but today we're going to focus on soils and pollen. First, let us start with soils. Pedology is the study of soils, and by adding the prefix paleo, we are now talking about ancient soils. Paleopedology. Soils have always been a part of archaeology. An entire book is dedicated just to classifying different soil colors for analysis. Here, we will be looking at the color and what may be hiding in the soil, what we can't see with the naked eye. An example of color would be the classic Maya Aurea. Here we can see rich, dark soils above and below, a gypsum-heavy soil in between, hence the Aurea. This is clear evidence of large-scale agricultural practices by the ancient Maya, the bottom level, followed by relatively low human activity in the middle, the light gypsum level, up until modern times where agriculture picks back up in this area, which is represented by the dark, rich soil again. Beyond just color, certain sediment types and minerals can provide evidence of what the environment was like during a certain time. For example, a silty soil level would probably be the result of a past flooding event depending on where you were on the landscape. Whereas soils with an abundance of phosphates, like the dark bands in the Maya Aurea, would be the result of human agricultural practices. However, soils by themselves only give a general idea of what the past environment was like. To recreate it in greater detail, we need something more, and that is where pollen comes in. To understand pollen, we're going to look at a case study. Here's a diagram of pollen going back about 9,000 years from the Balearic Islands in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Spain. You can see how abundant different plant genera were as they changed over time, more ancient at the bottom to more recent towards the top. Some key genera to look at are the Juniperus, Oleae, Buxus, and Ericaceae. For many thousands of years, Juniperus, a coniferous genus, and Buxus, an evergreen genus, were very common. Then, around 4,600 years ago, we can see a dramatic reduction in these genera and a rapid increase in Oleae and Ericaceae. Now, the question is, why may this be? The answer is olives and berries. Olives, from where we get olive oil, are within the Oleae genus, and cranberries and blueberries are found within the Ericaceae genus. This diagram is a great example of how we can see what the environment was like, and also see when humans started making an impact, all just based on pollen. Combining what we learn about ancient soils and ancient pollens, we can begin to recreate the world as it was thousands of years ago. This allows us to place what we know about past societies in their proper environmental context, giving us a fuller understanding of how these societies lived. Being able to understand and reconstruct past environments helps fill in the gaps we may not know just from looking at the artifacts we pull from the ground. A holistic approach is needed to study the past, and thanks to soils and pollens, we can better understand the world our ancestors lived in. Thanks for watching.
Created using Powtoon.